Well, that all depends on what you're in the mood for. I mean, we've got whites, we've got reds, we've got blushes, different vintage things, different all kinds of sort of things up here. It all depends on what you're interested in. Let's see. Is maybe, what about this one? This one's the one we're looking for right here. It's aromatic. It's pretty. It's got a nice wrapping to it. It's got a nice exterior as well as a nice interior. Very full-bodied and really fleshes things out. That's right. We're talking about the Tuscany Essential Edition bottle or box. But it's not like box wine, if that makes any sense. I don't drink wine, but if I did, let's just look at the review. Tuscany, the Essential Edition. It's what you've been waiting for. Now, I have one gripe with this, and it's not a gripe because it can be fixed rather easily that I'll talk about in the final thoughts. You say, why don't you go ahead and bring it up now? Because I'm thinking about it right now, and I didn't want to reshoot so I would remember. My point is this game is great. I love viticulture. It's no surprise. If you've seen my review right here, you can tell that I love viticulture. It's a great worker placement game. It's a Stonemaier game. One of those Stonemaier games that are just incredible. There's all of them are like that. Watch the Scythe review right here. But my point is this. Viticulture is a great worker placement game that just feels peaceful and smooth. And I'm playing the Essential Edition only, so I've never played in the past when there was no Grande worker. But this is just something... man, it's a good game. Viticulture is it's a refreshing game. It's a little bit long for a worker placement game, but it's fun. But let's talk about Tuscany. What is Tuscany? What is the point of this whole Tuscany expansion? You say, Brian, you're in your kitchen talking about Tuscany. That's right, I am, because I wanted this to feel at least a little bit thematic. Tuscany, the Essential Edition, it includes some of the old expansions from the original Tuscany game and adds to it. Things like, for instance, the extended board are here. The star mechanism with the area control, which basically turns viticulture into Game of Thrones in the bottom right of the board, bottom left of the board, which is great. There is the extended board, there's the special workers, which are awesome. There's also the, what am I forgetting? The structures cards that are just fantastic. And then, well, that's the three main things, are those three different modules right there that can all be played differently. But the main thing is this new board has a lot of different changes. It has 4 seasons instead of just 2. If you remember in old viticulture, it only had 2 seasons, summer and fall, summer and winter. Now when I say 2 seasons, of course it had 4, but spring and fall didn't really do anything. This time in the extended board, I'll show you in a minute, fall, summer, spring, winter, they all have different actions on them, as well as up top there's a space for the orange cards, which are the structure cards. Down in the bottom left there's the area control board, and there are some different actions that have changed on the board. All in all, let's look at what comes in the game, then I'll kind of tell you how I feel about Tuscany, the Essential Edition. So what's new in Tuscany Essential Edition? First things first, the structures board. Everybody gets a sideboard to put on with their structures. There's 2 spots to contain structures. And what do those structures do? Well, they are cards like this. For instance, the Inn. Whenever you play a visitor card, gain 1 victory point. That's okay. It gives you a victory point already. After you fill 1 order, gain 2 coins. Got it? They all give you kind of victory points. Here's one that gives you residuals. So every year you also age your grapes again, or something to that effect. Cost is in the top left corner. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So when you take the build structure action, you can do these things. Now I'm showing you all these first ones, but there are some very incredible ones like this. They give you a special action. This is for 7 coins. You can put this on your board and have a permanent action. This one's the school. It says, for 1 coin, train 1 worker for free. You may use, gain a coin. It's gain a coin. Train a worker for free. You may use that worker this year. That is ridiculous what that does. It's so good. Wine bar, 2 victory points. That's it. And it costs you 1 wine. Discard 1 wine for 2 victory points. That's pretty great. We'll talk about why that is a little bit different than up here. And I'll show you why in a minute. Tavern, whenever you play a visitor, you may discard 2 grapes to gain 3 victory points. All these are incredible things that you can do now with your own, and it kind of gives you that unique player power sort of feel, which is kind of an Ameritrash type thing inside of a Euro game. Also, these are not in the main box, but you can get these from Meeple Source or Top Shelf Gamer or some of these places. The metal coins from the original Tuscany can be purchased here, and they are gorgeous. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to the new things would be these Meeples, these special workers. These are different screen printed meeples. These are also not available in the main box. You get this meeple right here. Where is it? It's one of these. You get 2 of these screen printed meeples in every color, and that's all you need. I only have that because I have the original ones from the other Tuscany. But here's the deal. You only ever need 2 of these because you only ever put 2 out. So this would be the Traveler and this would be the Professor. For instance, the Traveler, you may place the Traveler on any action space open in a previous season, regardless if the action space is available based on a player count. Immediately take that action. That means you can take your worker, if we're all in fall, you can take your worker and place him in spring, as long as there's available space. That's great. Costs you 1 extra to do this, to train this person. It's pretty great. Professor, when you place the Professor, you may retrieve 1 of your regular workers from an action space on the board with the current season. That worker is available to be placed again this year. It is absolutely great because it lets you do some of the things that some of these action visitor cards let you do. That one's awesome if you get to spin him and pull somebody else off the board to be used for later. This is that area control type aspect that I was talking to you about right here. So you've got Firenze, you've got Arezzo, Siena, Grosseto, Livorno, Pisa, and Lucca. So what you do is, everybody in their meeples gets stars. So you see these stars in here? When you take this action right here, will either place or move a star. When you place a star, you immediately get the bonus down here, or the benefit, whatever it is. So this would be a purple card, green card, coin, 2 coins, yellow card, and orange card. And then at the end of the game, the person who has the most stars in one of these sections gets the victory points. So you can see, if you end up having all of these sections, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 points worth of victory points just from an area control game that is a side part of this game. It's awesome. New mechanic right here on the extended board is the wake up chart. Now there's 4 seasons, so you don't get anything in spring. When you pass to summer, you get whatever your summer benefit is, fall, winter, etc. The later you go, the more and better benefits you get. If you choose to take this one though, which gives you the extra worker and any card you want, you immediately have to go first next time, which means you get no bonuses, which kind of stinks, but it's a good balance factor. I really like that. Card sections up top, that's where the orange cards go, just in case you're wondering. New actions here. Let's see, when you build a structure, you can now build a structure with the cards as well. Place or move a star, that goes for this. A lot more of these bonuses you'll see that were not in the original. Play a card, these are all new. This one's new. Instead of the old sell a grape, you now have trade 1 for 1. Any of these things for any one of these other things. So you could trade 2 cards for 3 coins, or 3 coins for 2 cards, or 3 coins for victory point, or 1 victory point for 3 coins, or you get the drift. Buy and sell field up here in fall. There is a new one here. This one, build a structure and give a tour. So you have a new chance to make money as well as a new chance to build a structure. Over here in winter, you have to play the cards, train, sell a wine token. This is new. You can now sell a wine token straight off your board. Reds and whites are worth 1, blushes are 2, sparklings are 4, and then there's the bonus to move a star as well, which comes back to this one back over here, that wine bar one. It lets you then get 2 victory points when you pull the wine off instead of 1. So that's the 3 new modules that are in Tuscany Essential Edition. Let's find out what we think about it, and is it worth getting right now.
So, should you be drinking your health to Tuscany the Essential Edition? Of course you should. If you have Viticulture Essential Edition or Viticulture in general, you need to get Tuscany the Essential Edition, unless you have the original Tuscany, at which point it's not going to do you quite as much good. But if you're like me and you don't have the original Tuscany, Tuscany the Essential Edition is a must-buy. Now, my only knock, I mentioned it earlier, in this version of the special workers, you only get 2 of the painted sculpt, or the 2 of the screen-printed sculpts. You get the one guy with the overalls and the lady with the bonnet, thing like that. I loved in the original the original Tuscany, those screen printed meeples of all 16 different ones. However, the cool thing is if you go to Stonemeyer's website, you can buy for $15, I think. I think I got it for a little bit cheaper than that, I'm not sure. $15, all the 16 different special workers in every color, so you'll have that available to you if you want to spend a little bit more, as well as metal coins. I invested for the metal coins because they are just great. They're beautiful. Do you need them? Of course not. But Stonemeyer games, I have a tendency of going a little bit all out when it comes to customizing them. Call it fanboy, call it whatever you want, but my point is this. If you liked viticulture, you will love Tuscany, the Essential Edition. My goodness, that area control board in the bottom left seems so peaceful. It seems so mundane and not important until you are at the end of the game and you made your move on your last turn to move stars out to every single place you can, and you take like 7 victory points, 5 victory points, whatever you can get on the last turn. That's what happened to us when we played just recently. my friend Andy, I believe, was going to win. Andy or Jordan, one of them was going to win, or maybe Carl. I don't remember. It was Andy. That's irrelevant. Doesn't matter to you. Anyway, my friend Andy was going to win, and he sold some wine, had tons of residuals going. It was great. He bumped up just to right amount, 20 to end it or 25 to end it, and he got a few more points for some things. And then I was trailing behind. I was in second place, and I was trailing behind. Had no way to sell any wine. Had no way to fill an order or anything like that. What I did instead was I went to the action that let me move some stars. So I moved 2 of my stars around, which let me take control of 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, giving me, I think, 6 victory points total, which shot me forward ahead of him by 1 point. It was just that cool because the area control aspect of a worker placement game won me this game. And it's so pretty because it looks exactly like an area control game. If you zoom that in, you'd have an area control game and not a worker placement at all. That's what's beautiful about it. They managed to put the 2 most popular Euro mechanisms in one game, and they nailed it. I love Tuscany, the Essential Edition. Go and get it right now, and thank Jamie Stegmaier for what wonderful games these guys keep pumping out at Stonemeyer Games. Can't wait to see what comes from them next. Until next time, this is the latest retro. Make sure you check out the channel, follow us on Twitter and YouTube, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you next time.
Hey, you're still watching the video. The video's not over. Check it out. Click subscribe right here to find the funniest, okay, maybe not the funniest, I think they're funny, the best, okay, that's also a stretch, video game, no, videos about games. See how bad this tag is? It's got to be a good channel if the tag is this bad. So click subscribe, pass it along, send it to all your friends. Thanks. I'm Brian with the latest retro.